There's Ozempic, and it might be changing the way that people buy food. Walmart's CEO, did you see this? Doug McMillon. He said in an interview that his company has found out that those who take Ozempic and Wegovy are buying less food. He said this, quote, "We definitely do see a slight change compared to the total population. We do see a slight pullback in overall basket." This, I think, is a pretty big deal for these companies, pretty big deal for consumers, too.
Well, is he bragging or complaining? I'm on Mounjaro, one of those similar drugs. I've lost 35 pounds, and I do shop and eat differently because it makes you less hungry, and I think it also makes you want to eat healthier versus fried foods and what have you.
So here's the thing about Ozempic, Wegovy, and the similar...
Mounjaro.
Yep, okay. You know, it's being billed as this wonder drug, right? And maybe it is. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. You're not doctors, and clearly we'll see. But we had this epidemic of OxyContin in this country, right? And it was being handed out left and right, and it became a huge problem. And I just sit back and it still is, right, correct, it still is. And I just wonder if we're at the beginning of this thing and it's just sort of being handed out or being consumed as this next great thing, like, might we be getting ourselves into something? I don't know.
I mean, it's certainly something to consider. I think, you know, so far all the studies have shown that these are working, and you can see it in dollars and cents. And I think, you know, fundamentally Americans have to change how we eat and how we live our daily lives and how much we eat, because it is a problem. I mean, diabetes is becoming one of the major killers in the U.S. And so, you know, I'm glad to see there's some change happening across the country. But, you know, I think we've got to be cautious with these new drugs. You're absolutely right.
I think this is more a function of Bidenomics and inflation than it is of Ozempic. I think the cart's getting less because your items cost more. I think it's just simple math. I do agree with you, though, that we've got so many drugs out there that are new, and we don't understand what the long-term health implications are for them.
Well, there are some
and I think as the population ages that's been on these drugs, I think we're going to learn more about this. But I think the short-term, the basket getting a little bit lighter, I do think you can't discount the impact that inflation has on the family budgets.
Well, the doctor's orders on this, there are limitations. You have to take it within, at least Mounjaro, 4 to 6 months, and then you've got to get off of it because it can have some impact on pancreatic and long-term impact.
By the way,
do it forever.
By 2035, it's expected that 7% of the U.S. population, about 24 million people, will be on an appetite suppression drug. Just something to consider.
Yeah. Well, maybe this is a crisis that President Taylor Swift can solve.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.